Old School RuneScape has this weird ecosystem where you never really know when the updates are gonna enter the game. For instance, we first heard about Wilderness Bosses rework back in 2020, which was almost 2 years ago. Jagex stated that boys and girls, very soon we're gonna start working on new wildy bosses. Pinky promise, alright? And now, almost 2 years later, we still don't have them yet. Yes, don't get me wrong, they're coming, but probably at the end of this year. But it does feel odd that some of the new content gets released in few months, whereas some take years to put into game. Another thing I noticed was quest speedrunning. It was first announced in December 2020, Killenor cassette, and we're gonna get it in next few months. It's been just sitting there on the shelves for almost 2 years waiting to be released. I mean, the infamous Ball 76 that was completed at the start of 2022, and we still to this day haven't seen some of the updates on the ball that passed. It's been 9 months. It's just fascinating, and that got me interested. Is there any more content Jagex has openly talked about adding in, yet still to this day we don't see it in game? What have we missed? Now, Jaggy Baggy likes to call these ideas ideations. In summary, they make a delicious soup of everything great they can come up with to improve Old School RuneScape, and whatever grabs the interest will be implemented into the game. Like for instance, few years back we had this cool concept of Hunting Guild. Essentially you have this dope house coming from the redwood trees in woodcutting guilds. You have a lookout for hunting on the edges. It's a nice hub for all of you hunting connoisseurs. It has an ego teleport system implemented. There is a hunter slayer master who gives out hunter contracts similar to Slayer, and after you complete them you get hunter points which you can swap for rewards. So the hunter master is like, yo, chinchompas are mating like rabbits right now and are overpopulating, so we need you to go fix that right away and cut a few down, okay? Something like that, but like PG version. You go hunt those chinchompas, you come back and you buy coolies with your hunter points. There was supposed to be superior hunter creatures. There are tasks where you have to relocate hunter monsters from one place to another. An overall really solid system that somehow never made it to the game. Oh my god, I just now realized I didn't wear the green scissors for my Herbrands. Oh my god. Why didn't none of you tell me? Oh no, my 10% yields. Oh, okay. How much did I profit? I got a dead patch and no scissors. Wow, okay, still 200k. That is pretty good for 5 minutes of work. Okay, let's just continue. I feel like doing raids right now. I mean, it was just released. I kinda have to do them, okay? Another super interesting idea I read about was called Faction Wars. Now, if you played World versus World in Guild Wars 2, you know what I'm talking about. Or I guess better explanation here would be stealing creations in original RuneScape, but with like teams. It does have some differences, but here is the summary of it. There are dedicated worlds and the player base are split into 3 factions and fight for their territory and resources on a brand new map. There are 2 points, one is team based and the other is individual. Individual points unlock multitude rewards outside the game and also buffs in game. But this isn't like some sort of 20-minute game and then we restart. No, these things last for weeks, maybe even months. There are 2 main objectives in the game: defending your resources and capturing enemy resources. Let's say you capture a tier 2 mining camp. What you can do now is build walls around that camp, providing stronger defenses so your gatherers can gain mining resources faster. Maybe even add some barricades, defense towers and so on and so on. Territories consist of like cooking houses where you can provide your entire faction food, forges for furnaces and anvils to smith better gear, to smith better weapons, and the higher your tiers are, the better your equipment is gonna be. But let's say you don't want to defend your own camps and instead want to spend your weeks capturing the enemy's camps. Well, I got good news for you. To capture the enemy's territories, you have to defeat their commander boss in the middle of the territory. But to get to that, you also have to go through enemy players, so it might be more difficult than you think. But if you manage to do that, not only will you take control of the territory, you will also gain your own commander boss in the middle of the territory as well. And that boss gives you boosts, it gives you supplies, all of that stuff. The thing is, everybody has to contribute. It's not only PvP frontlines, we need hunters, we need gatherers, we need crafters, cooks, people who construct and so on to advance our faction and upkeep it. The factions also scale, so players with all combat and stats have meaningful contribution to the factions. Honestly, it truly sounds like really awesome community-focused PvP feature that has some PvM elements, that has some PvE elements. Unfortunately, we will likely never see that in old school RuneScape, in the near future at least. We're not gonna get the faction wars, but will I get a purple? No, okay. You know what? Okay, I can't really complain either. I've gotten like 2 purples in the last 40 guild comp, but 250k, sure, we'll go with that. Let's move on. Okay, next up, I'll do a quick speedrun of few updates that have been talked about by Jagex in the past but unfortunately will never see the light of day. Guild of Shadows, a new guild for thieving which focuses on completing various thieving based contracts. You might be asked to infiltrate an area to destroy supplies or plant documents on unsuspecting delegates, sabotage people, poison people, assassinate them, and so on and so on. Different contracts require different skills. It's an add-on for thieving. They wanted to even add in reverse pickpocketing where instead of stealing, you put items into someone's pocket. Completing these contracts will earn you reputation points in guild, which can be swapped for experience or multiple rewards. Solphos, the tortoise killing boss. There are 2 phases for this boss. The first is preparing with hunter, wood cutting to gather supplies to defeat the boss, and the second phase is the actual fight where you use farming and construction to build the traps. You lure the tortoise in, and if you do enough damage, you are offered multitude of rewards including brand new range ammo, farming, hunter, wood cutting upgrades, and a cute small tortoise pet. Nightfall, new never-ending wave-based minigame. In this instant area, you have to fight off hordes of enemies while trying to survive as long as possible. Yes, we are doing Call of Duty zombie mode in RuneScape. What about it? As you progress, you earn better gear and more supplies to fight off bigger hordes. With this idea, they also thought about upgrading pest control to an elite boat, which gives you access to new pest control queen that hasn't been announced yet. The corrupted rat. One day, as Varrock guard was making the rounds, he noticed a mysterious figure. When approaching, the figure teleported away, leaving a green crystal behind. Without paying much attention to it, the crystal soon ended up in Varrock's sewers, where rats took interest to it. A massive corrupted rat grew out of it, and King of Varrock has asked the player for help to defeat it. The new rat boss is free to play, meaning everyone can kill it, and it will bring the idea of poison to free to play as well. There are similar boss ideas for the wilderness, where a rat is riding another rat and swaps weapons. Yeah, you know what? Science has gone too far. Question mark? And that's it. There are a few more smaller ones, like they had this idea for multiple quests like Fairy Tale Part 3, Elemental Workshop Part 3, new RD quest and so on, but the ones I mentioned were in my opinion some of the better ones. So to end off, why aren't all these updates coming into game? Well, there is a very simple answer to it. There is no time. Yep, that's it. We don't have time. JMods use these ideations as side projects to everything else they're working on. So for instance, Rage 3 was just released, which Jagex worked on for 16 months. Since it was such a big project, everything else was put on side, including ideations. In Jagex's own words, they also say that release schedule just doesn't have enough room for all of these ideas, which is kinda questionable considering how we got a lot less content this year compared to the previous one. But you know what, well, that's for another day. Now in 2022 we have Game Jam that was supposed to replace Ideation, but the first Game Jam was released almost 6 months ago with total of around 10 new ideas, something like that, which none have made it into the game. Yet. Now that the biggest update of the year is out, maybe we can focus on smaller, more niche areas of the game, and maybe, just maybe, someday we will see all of these updates I mentioned before on old school RuneScape. Who knows? Okay, here is the Elite Glue casket, and it is a collection log slot and nothing else. Shocking. Who would have guessed? Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Here is a big sloppy kiss to you. Mwah! And I'll see you in a few days, okay? Bye!